entrepreneurs, business owners, and even my ministry leaders. Here's what I know that all of you guys struggle with, myself included. How in the world do I leverage social media to drive actual results for my business? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Coming up on the next Bootstrap Business and Ministry, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. What's going on, everybody? Glenn P. Brooks Jr. here, back again for another edition of Bootstrapping Business and Ministry. I, last week, started a two-part session that I did with our M.A.P.S Master Class cohort. Every Wednesday, we do a lunch and learn, and it's live. And I took one of those lunch and learns, and I thought I would just chop it up and help you understand some things that I'm teaching them when it comes to leveraging social media to drive results for your business. Last week was part two. Do me a favor, click the link in the description, and you can find where you can link up and find that first part. But today, we're gonna pick up where we left off, and we're gonna give you the balance of that. I'm gonna come back at the end of this session and tell you a few ways on how you can get a hold of us. Maybe you need a coach. Maybe you're in a place where, you know what, I'm tired of doing this all by myself. I believe that you can't get to any place of significance by yourself. I believe we all need some help. Take a listen and we'll be back right after this. Number three is I want you to be responsive. On the last intensive session that we did with Monty, one of the things that we recognized is that there were questions about, should I schedule content? And I made a mental note, and I think I put it in the chat, that when you schedule content beforehand, I want you to engage it live. Should you schedule content? Yes, but you also need to engage the content that you schedule. Introverts, please listen to me. This is not checking the box. Well, got that scheduled. Don't have to worry about that no more. Put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Promote it, forget it. I don't have to think about it no more. Not true. Not true. Because here's the thing about social media. It garners a real audience. There are real people listening to you. There are real people on replay. That's why oftentimes you'll hear me say something like, great afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. My name is Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and I'm a coach. I've been married for over 30 years to two different women. Now, I know y'all doing the math on that. And what I will tell you is that was not easy. As a result of what I've learned over the years, my current wife and I, have 21 years in a row, created an online relationship academy called M.A.P.S, Marriages and Parenting Successfully. If you'd like to be a part of that, because this is where we grow people who want to do relationships very intentionally, we take and we help them in Zoom rooms and in a closed room, private room. We help them grow intentionally. If you want to know more information about it, do me a favor, put #me in the chat and I'll send you a quick link. So today we're going to talk about the 3 ways to get your husband to do the dishes. Did y'all see how I made that all up off the top of my head? But if you ever listen to me go live, I go live like that on purpose with great intentionality, and it's relatively the same. Sometimes the wording might be different. Sometimes the call to action may be a little bit different. But the reason I do that is because I want to grab your attention. B, I need you to engage, and C, I need you to do the right way. And the other thing you'll hear me say right at the top, and by the way, if you are on by way of replay, I need you to put #replay in the chat so that I can engage you more personally. And I guarantee you 3 hours after I go dark, I was live 4 hours ago, there's a whole string of replays in the chat, like out of nowhere. And what that does is that it trips the algorithm and it makes that thing live again. And so I am talking to a replayer at that point. By this point, I'm on the golf course. The replayer is not. They're looking at it live. And at that particular point, what I want you guys to understand is that helps the algorithm to do that. So I need you to be responsive. Number four, and this is, again, we're still talking about how to leverage social media in a way that will help you grow your business. Number 4, guys, is use influencer marketing. Use influencer marketing. Put that in the chat. Use influencer marketing. What do I mean when I say that? I am an influencer, whether I like it or not. All it takes for you to be an influencer is that people move on what you say. I don't care how big or small. Everybody in this room today is an influencer on some level. Ask your children, ask your husband, ask the people that you're in relationship with. You're an influencer. What happens is that if I show up on Keith's coaching, a group coaching call, or he has a room maybe where he has married people. He actually has one of these where he's working with married couples, right, on how to make marriage fun again, right? And he decides he wants to invite me to come talk. Because of his reach into that community, there is influence there. Well, when I show up, there's also exposure for my brand. That's why it's always important for you not to collaborate with people who are not of like mind, because that person is now going to be influenced by that person. I want to encourage you guys to go be great at a ton of value in on other people's platforms, other influencers. And that doesn't mean you're there selling anything. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm not going to go in his room and sell nothing. I'm not going to tell nobody to buy one book. I'm not going to ask them to sign up for one program. That's his room. That would be disrespectful. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show up and be freaking amazing. I'm going to be so amazing that if I come in your room, they're going to come looking for me on their own. Because there's something that I said that resonated with them, and they may be one little program that I have that their current coach don't offer, and they're going to want to do that. That's why I don't get upset when I see people who rock with me in other people's rooms. That's their business. That is not my business. My job is to be amazing. And what it is, and I'm going to help you guys understand, when you understand the influencer, you will work with people of like mind. And quite frankly, that collaboration will go both ways. So when I interview a person that does quote what I do, why is it that I can do that? I don't care. You know why? Because they are not me. And so I can legit give way to what it is that you're doing, because what Christine does is different than what I do, even if we do the same thing. Why? Because she's Christine and I'm Glenn, and we are two completely different people. Does that make sense? So I want you guys to learn how to really maximize, guys, using other social media influence. Last one, and then we're going to open this up for Q&A, is I want you, number 5 is paid advertising on social media. Remember at the beginning, I said that I want you guys to learn how to spend money wisely and spend money when you need to. Now, here's the truth. In 5 years, real talk, we have spent less than $500 on paid advertising. And it's not because I don't believe in paid advertising. It's because I figured out a way to organically make the algorithm do what I want it to do. And so I have not had a need to spend money. I'm a former sales executive. I'm a former advertising executive. And so the truth of the matter is, I made a whole lot of money. When I talk to people about having made 6 figures before I was 30, it was selling advertising. So you best believe I know the value of advertising sales, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to use it sparingly. And this is the thing that I'm going to submit to you. When you start to go that route of paid advertising on social media, you had better know what you're doing. You have better understand, because if you do not understand how that game is played, and those are things that we can help you with here in the MMC. Monty Weaver is a great example. He's here in the room with us today, and he can help you understand when, what, and how. When do you spend the money? What do you spend it on? What business platform? And how do you do it to best maximize that effort? But I can tell you right now, until you are making money, you better not be spending none, because you got some work to do. Stop spending money and you're not making money. That's how you are go out of business. Slow your roll, perfect your craft, become an amazing, amazing influencer, show up consistently, get traction, and when it begins to come in, you sit it to the side, you sit it to the side, you sit it to the side. You figure out what you don't know, and you build your war chest to spend money on what you need to know. Y'all understand that concept? That is how you build slowly. Too many people get into entrepreneurship and they need to pay their rent. No, you need to go get a job. That's what you need to do. Stop trying to become Stop calling it, I'm building my business, but really you need to pay your rent. Bro, let me explain something to you. Very rarely does that work. And the reason why is because the bills will outrun your ability to grow your business fast enough to be able to pay your bills. Last thing, the way we did it is that Cherie decided to hold us down for 1 year. I was in between jobs coming from Atlanta to Virginia Beach. I'd left the school system. We were living in a communal situation. We were in her brother's huge 5-bedroom home. And we came here to be of a support to my in-laws. And within that year, I realized this would be a great opportunity since we didn't have to pay rent. We didn't have all the overhead. What would it look like for me to build a business within the year that we're here? I wonder if that's possible. Talked it over with Cherie, got the family's input, and everybody was like, nah, that could work. And so I went in and I had 1 year to make it happen. And I used every single Uber, did everything I needed to do and poured it right back into my business. It wasn't trying to cover my overhead. Cherie's job did that. That's how you do that stuff. You don't do that trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. You will drive yourself and your family bananas. And here's how I watch people build a business and lose their family all in the same year. And it's not cool. It's not sustainable. Promise you that. So I need you guys to understand that's how that looks. And then when you get to the place where you're ready to spend money on advertising, I promise you, and this is a guy coming from traditional, what they call terrestrial advertising, meaning with radio, TV, print, things that are found on land versus social media and that whole piece, that digital space. Guys, there's no easier way to leverage your business than paid advertising than when you know what you're doing. I promise you, it will pay dividends for you that will have you at 7 and 8 figures real fast because you know what you're doing. And I've seen it happen time and time again. I hope that helps. We've talked about the 5 ways for leveraging social media to drive results for your business. If you're here and you want to know more about the M.A.P.S Master Class experience, we're an intensive and we run every quarter, and our goal is to show up and add value to entrepreneurs, business owners, and ministry leaders who have one express goal, and that is to add value to people who are adding value to people. My name's M.A.P Brooks Jr., and I'll see you next time. Well, I hope that's helped you guys. Listen, I don't care if you are a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a ministry leader, particularly if you've been in business less than 5 years. This is difficult. Those first few years really is all about survival. And I really hope that this content helped you understand how to go from surviving to thriving. When you figure out how to leverage social media, it will absolutely drive your business. If you've gotten any value out of this, we want to encourage you to come and hook up with us in the M.A.P.S Master Class. Click a link in the description where you can sign up for a free discovery session. We would love to connect with you. Until the next time, always remember that we all need some help. Guys, if this teaching, if these series of videos have helped you in any kind of way, we want to encourage you to click one of the other videos, find out more about what we're doing here in the M.A.P.S Master Class, because here's what we all know to be true. You can't get to any place of significance by yourself. Why? Because we all need some help.